Hello and welcome to Perspectives. Once again, a reminder, if you want to get in touch with us, please, my Twitter handle, my Facebook handle, my email will be on the screen. You can write to us. We will try to take live calls in the second half, but I can't promise that. We will try. We are live today, so I will also be able to take your tweets as we go on. Earlier this evening, a young lady came to my office with her mother. And this is a young lady who's probably watching the show right now, has just recently returned from the U.S. and is in love with Pakistan, wants to do things, wants to change things. I had an hour-long argument with her, and I kept insisting, why do you want to change things that you cannot change? Why not change things that you can change? Things that are in your circle of influence, things that you can affect right now, right here. Maybe we have been misguided. Maybe we have held on to this illusion that we can change the world. It's a very egotistical view that maybe I can affect your life. I can't affect your life. Your life will run its own course. My life will run my course. The only thing I can actually do is maybe affect the way I am. Maybe change who I am, affect those around me. And that is the extent of my capability. That, in a domino effect, could change the whole universe, sure. But if I think without changing myself, I can change everything else, that's a mistake. With that said, the discussion went towards who is the future woman of Pakistan. The other day, we had Dr. Zaidi of Indus Hospital. And as he left, he said, we need to do a show on women who go to medical school but never practice medicine. As a result, we don't have enough doctors because they keep occupying the seats, they study, they go to school, and then they get married and go home and they do not practice. I did not realize that that is still true in Pakistan. After those days were over. When the merit system came in, especially in Sindh, Karachi, women were outperforming men. They were doing better. But in A-levels and high school, men seemed to be doing better. That is not my concern. My concern is the Pakistani woman going to have better life in 10 years than she does today? Today we spend hours and hours doing shows about rights for women, harassment of women, gender imbalance, reserved seats in the assemblies for women, women rights, women get special preference, and it's just about how weak and how miserable the woman is. Will she continue to be so miserable? Is she really miserable? That is another beautiful discussion, which I'm sure all men out there would like to have. My guests today have been invited and selected slightly carefully, hoping they'll be able to indicate if they are opening the doors for a better woman or a better world for the woman. That was a Freudian slip, but I'm going to stick to that Freudian slip. Maybe we need a better woman as well. And with that, I have opened the floodgates of animosity towards me because present in the studio and on the phone are some of my friends, people you already know. Another thing I'd like to mention here, and I'm proud of this, and I will thank God that we on PTV have achieved the fact that we are actually calling people who matter you. It is not the usual faces that you see. It is socialites, it's people who are on Twitter, on Facebook, people, young people who are the constituent part of the civil society today. So kudos to myself, even if I say that. And thanks to PTV, we've been able to do this. So I can introduce my guests, Ms. Zainab Imtiaz. She's an educationist. Thank you very much for taking the time out and being here.
Inviting.
Samra Muslim, she's a digital marketeer, and a lot of people on the social media know her as a tyrant. May your tyranny rule. Thank you for being here, Samra.
Thank you for having me over, Faisal.
What's with that face?
I'm not a tyrant. No, I'm not.
Is your husband watching the show?
I hope so.
Is it? I know already.
Oh, with him I'm supposed to. Like, that's like the...
It's okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave that. On my left, I've got Ms. Urooj Moiz, who's a trainer. Thank you. Hypnotist?
Yeah.
Do not do that here.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Do not do that. If I start acting funny, you know what's going on. You are going to bail me out.
No, I was thinking of making a video and putting up on YouTube.
I love you too.
I need to hypnotize, I guess, a lot of men and women.
Women, yeah.
Yeah.
And on next to her is Miss Zarmina, Kadir, who is a baker, an event manager, and again, just a marketeer, and some message an entrepreneur. Did I get your name right?
Yes, you did. Thank
you
you
were
so
very
much.
touchy about your name.
I am.
Why?
I don't know. I don't like anyone who spells or pronounces my name wrongly.
She kept leaving your name. No,
She didn't have a choice, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Like the parents usually name you, but like you don't come out.
You want to see them?
No. I love my name.
On the phone with us, we will have a young Pakistani who lives in London and is an investment banker, Miss Sobia Zia. Is Sobia online with us now? Sobia, can you hear us? I think she's not there yet. We'll try to get her soon. I'm going to start here, Samra. Who is Pakistan's future woman? And I ask you this with the perspective that whether the next woman of Pakistan will have an easier life. Will she be? Okay, I'm going to take just 10 more seconds. I was driving out this afternoon, and I saw this woman wearing a burqa, just crossing the street. The streets are deserted today, alone. And I just shivered for a second. Oh my God, what is she going through? She is just so much at risk. And I felt sorry. Will that happen in 2020?
No, okay. So now I'm going to throw back a question your way. Did you feel sorry because she was in a burqa?
No, I felt sorry because she was at risk.
Because she was walking alone?
She was walking alone and she was at risk. She was younger.
Yeah, but like what if it was a guy? Would you have felt sorry?
Well, he is the risk.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's what needs to change.
I agree. So
That's
is that happening?
Well, yes and no. It's like a double-edged sword. Yes, it's happening to women who've been brought up like with parents like mine, or maybe all of us across this platform who've given us that kind of empowerment to become the people we've become and to actually stand up to that kind of a man on the street or man anywhere. That man is out there in our offices as well.
Stand for your protection.
Yeah. A right of protection, or just like, just take care of ourselves.
Okay.
So like, these 2 feet that God's given us, our parents have sort of taught us how to walk on them. Walk on them, and by that I actually not just mean like the figuratively walking on them,
sure,
but actually walk on it. Stand strong, stand firm in our beliefs, and actually fight through whatever life throws our way. So that's kudos to our parents. What is actually happening, when I say to your question, what is actually happening is the woman, like with the mindset of the parents is changing. So when 20 years ago, while the parents were more like, okay, so you have a daughter, and as soon as she's hit 20, you need to start looking for possible suitors for her. And for her, the education limitation was also probably limited to the BA, BCom, so that she could be a good wife. So from the age of like 12 or 13, the mother would sort of start grooming her towards the kitchen, so she can be like the good wife. So that was like the profession she was being groomed towards. Now those girls maybe felt a little like, okay, so I could have been something more than the good wife, and they, with their own daughters and their own and with their husbands, is sort of like embracing a new thought where you go out there and be something more than a good wife.
Then a lot of people would take serious offense to what Samra said and said we have not liberated women, we have actually put them at risk, and it's against our culture, against the value for the woman to do anything but make food or raise children. So how would you take on that?
No, I would like to start on a very optimistic note. I don't want to say that women in Pakistan are always suppressed and oppressed. No, women have changed, and she has been into the transition. Now she's much more headstrong, go-getter, and very gleaming, luminous future I can see for the women of Pakistan.
But a lot of people take offense to that. A lot of people say that's not our culture.
No, it's not about culture, because whenever I counsel and I educate and I conduct language classes, I always try to boost their morale by saying it's not about being, having a broader horizon from the way you look. You get broad-minded, you get educated, literate, or illiterate from your mind. So I think women in Pakistan has always been like that. But there are certain issues, and that's there in every culture. So,
what would that issue be?
Yeah, like, many obstructions, hurdles, many obstacles that she may really have to face potently. If she's not headstrong and she's a kind of a feeble person, then people will enfeeble you more.
But headstrong could also mean negative. It's like maybe just too headstrong. Zabdiya.
No.
Headstrong is not necessarily good.
No, headstrong in a way that whatever you should go by plan, you should have far-sighted vision. It's not necessarily important. There are many women who have the correct ideology and methodology. Sitting at home, they can fulfill their aims, mottos, you know. So it's your mind and it's your will and it's your way and it's your passion and compassion that comes along.
Urooj?
If we talk about culture, so first of all, we should know what is our culture. We are just influenced by Indians because we were there with them for so many years.
Okay.
So what is actually our culture? We are mixing up modernization and westernization.
Okay.
Our women should be modern, but not if our religion doesn't allow us to be westernized, but we should be modernized. Like few days back on a show, there's some person sitting. I don't want to name him, but he said, if you want to have a good life, don't teach your wife how to drive. I mean, this is something doesn't make any sense. 51% of the women in Pakistan, if you block them in their house or in their home, so where the country will go? It will not go anywhere because 51% of the population is women. So we need to empower them, and women can be empowered because through women a whole generation is, brought up.
Were you in that show with that gentleman?
No, I wasn't.
If you were, what would you do?
I would have just shut him up at that time.
What would be your argument to shut him up?
I would say that if my husband will stop me, I will definitely divorce him. That would not end up in a good life.
Do you realize what you just said?
Yeah, I'm such a...
But what you just said will be taken as cause and reason and a complete argument against your freedom.
They can argue with me as much as they want to, but if my husband stops me from driving just because he's insecure, there are two approaches. If my husband stops me because he cares about me, he doesn't want me to drive and rush, or he cares about that, maybe I'll get tired or something.
Safety security.
Yeah, safety security, fine, it's good because he loves me. But if my going-to-be husband stops him because he's insecure, it's better that he stays without me. So I would definitely
Thank you.
divorce him.
You've gone from divorcing your husband to be husband.
Don't hire him right now.
I'm kind of with you there.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, but he's not there.
So, Zarmina, how do you feel?
Coming back to the culture thing that you just said, what I feel is, if we cannot empower the females, those who do not have that much of opportunity to go out and look for jobs, or if they lack in education, there are many areas over here jahan pe they can actually start working from the house. They can, just take up some hobbies in which they can actually pursue their career. It can be anything. I mean, there are so many NGOs that are run by females, and they're very successful. I mean, they can approach the NGOs, then they can start up from the basic, and then they can, just go up to the level where they feel, yes, they will be over there.
May I interrupt?
Yeah.
NGO women is actually a label. Okay. I'm not saying not saying right or wrong. I'm just giving the society's perspective.
Yes.
The NGO woman is a label, and it's a bad label.
But why is it a bad label?
I would like you to explain that.
See, because as far as I know, 70% of the NGOs are run by females. Okay, it can be 80% as well.
That's fine.
But why? The reason is maybe because people have set there in their minds that because it's been run by all these singles or like divorcees, or so they're making money. People have this in their mind actually.
This preconceived notion, that's a bad thing.
But the thing that I have in mind, in Pakistan or in our culture, Pakistan, India, or we just talk about the whole region, why do we need women on NGOs, first of all, for their rights? We know our right, we should stand up for it. We should empower our kids. For example, if in my family there was a daughter, and they were educating her they were giving her awareness that you are a girl, and you should listen to your brother all the time. Whatever he says, he's saying the right thing, and you should not argue. I mean, if something doesn't, her logic doesn't allow something, she can't even argue, and they are feeding her with it. So what will happen when she will pass her medical exam, like you said? They don't go for practice later on. So they don't go with the logic. Whatever is said by the society, they just go ahead and do it. We, till the 7 years, we just stop them from using their logic. We ask them to just, follow.
What you've just said, there's a reason I commented on your name earlier. What you just said, I want to put those two things together now. Parents, I'm so sorry, no offense meant, but a lot of parents have multitude of daughters just because they were trying to get a son. So that mindset is destructive. And she can't help it. Your parents kept your name. I'm just joking about that. But parents are still doing that. in your and my class, and in every class, that is happening today. So Sobia Zia is online with us from London. Sobia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
You've chosen to make Britain your home. You live in London. You work there. You're an investment banker. Why aren't you working in Pakistan? Do you think there's no opportunity for you? There's no opportunity for a woman, and there's just no opportunity in general. Why are you in Britain?
Well, why am I in Britain? My parents happen to be here, so I'm a product of my circumstances, to be honest.
Okay.
But hey, I'm having a great time here, so don't take that incorrectly.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. Or you suddenly retracted because your parents don't want to think. you don't want to be having a miserable time.
Yeah.
No, but the reason I asked that question was.
Watching, it's great. But look, why am I here? So at the moment, my opportunities are here. I have a job here, but I would have really no issue in moving back to Pakistan if I had the same employment opportunity there. And I'm actively always thinking of things I can do and opportunities to move back to Pakistan, because although I've grown up in the UK, I've lived here all my life, I'm very connected to Pakistan. And I would like to be there because there is so much to do. And I think as a Pakistani woman, one has a burden. One has a burden because the society is so stratified. They're the people like us who are educated, have been given the opportunity. And then when I am in Pakistan, because, my family lives there and I travel there all the time, I feel guilty because I see other women who have no opportunity to really do anything. They have no education. They have no roles they can do, and I feel like they're stuck in their environment. And I feel that I have a burden to try and help that in some way.
Okay, so we just hang on to that part, Samra. Do I need to pose a question here? I think the question will be, are you women taking on the responsibility for the other women? And what Sobia is saying, is that true? That women have no opportunity here? Or is that...
It's the perspective.
Okay.
Okay, because again, women, it's multiple classes of women. When you say women of future, which class are you talking about? People like us, who are, mashallah, blessed and touch would come from a background that gives us the kind of opportunities? Or are you going to that rural woman that's sitting in some gaon or goat and who's maybe one of 20 other siblings maybe, and a father who just did not want a daughter in the first place, and are you looking at her?
May I interject?
Yeah, please.
I would like to believe both, and I would like to believe that both their fates will merge at some point.
Inshallah.
But then whose responsibility is it to make that fate merge?
I think it's a collective responsibility. Why is it a woman's responsibility?
I didn't say it is. Why are you defensive?
No, I'm not. I'm throwing back that question across this table. It's not a woman's responsibility. I think it's a society's responsibility as a whole to take care of the entire society. So why sort of why take a man like you off the platform and say it's not your responsibility?
Well, am I missing something here? Why do you defend? That's summarized. No, but I'm going to slightly deflect. Is the society woman friendly or not? I know you say it's in the mind, but is the society friendly or is the society aggressive towards you?
Partially, yes, I would say partially in this scenario, in today's time and age, it certainly is. She's right. It has to be a responsibility that everybody has to take on their shoulder. It's an onus that everybody should bear on. I can say that I'm paving the path for them because I'm making them learn it. I'm making them well-versed. I'm making them voluble. And there are certain delusions that make a woman go in a delirium. So that shouldn't happen.
So you're enabling them.
Yeah, certainly. And also boosting their morale and confidence building, which has been suppressed and crushed at their homes. You see, there are dozens and thousands and billions of opportunities for women. It's all about
so it's not all bad.
No, not at all. How you shape a woman of your society. It's how about
Okay, I'm going to have to interrupt you just shortly. We'll take a short break. Zainab here says that there's a lot of opportunity and things are not so bad. But if things are not so bad, then what's all the hue and cry? Let's take a short break. aggressive women today. But my question, Zainab says things are not so bad. You said there's an opportunity. My friend here says opportunity. Why do you guys complain so much then?
No, we never said there are no opportunities, but we don't have the free will to do the stuff.
Then there's no opportunity.
There is opportunity, but if we really want, for example, me.
Oh, you mean there are jobs?
There are jobs.
But there's no opportunity.
I tell you what, for example, me, I want to go out, I have a driver. I can go out because my father has given me a driver, a car, I can go out, I can do whatever I want to, I come back. But there are a lot of women, they can't even go into another room without asking their husbands. They can't do that.
Again, the question of opportunity comes in, it's very relative. Who is the opportunity for? Me as an individual, yes. If I look at the big picture from my educated and comfortable surroundings, yes. But then, if you look at the big picture, what opportunity also? Like, there is a woman who is not allowed to get out of her house without the permission of whoever that is the man of the house. There is a woman or the girl who is not sent to school. Why? Because she has to go and earn a living to support the other 6 siblings that are younger than her. So
I take your point as true, but Zarmina, I want to ask you, then nothing is going to change. In another 10 years, nothing will change. How?
See, we need to create opportunities for us. We need to have that sort of mindset in which in the next 2 years, we're like, we have to do it,
Zarmina, let me rephrase that question. Yeah. Jobs are there.
Yeah.
Ruth says there are jobs there.
There are
Hang
jobs.
on. Opportunities, as you say, I do not see them as opportunities, but it's jobs. Now, but you can't reach them. And if you reach them, my question was, is the society aggressively working against you? You're a working girl. When you go to your job, is it conducive? Are you made comfortable at work? Is it okay for you to commute? Or is it difficult for you? Is the society woman-friendly or not?
Society, women are very friendly, to be honest, as far as I've come across in so many. I've been working since 2007, ever since I graduated.
6 years, mashallah.
Yes. And I've been into different fields. I've also taught. I have been a marketeer. I've interned at Etihad Airways. And then again, now I'm working as a project manager.
Fine.
In all these scenarios, I've always had female bosses. Always. Even when I was with a company named Navitus, Stimul is, I have, she's my boss, Samra.
So you've had females
exactly.
as bosses.
And see, sorry to cut you, coming back to the opportunity thing, like you said, we do have jobs, but we're not being able to get to that. Maybe because there are a lot of favoritism going on.
Against you?
Not only against me, against, be it a Pakistani woman or a man. It can be like that. You need to go through
Faisal, you have to understand there's a dogmatic belief in the society that the moment there's a woman sitting in front of me and I'm taking an interview, not me, but whoever's taking an interview, they are automatically going to look at my CV and they're going to ask me this question, are you married?
Exactly.
They would never ask a male candidate that question.
Sobia, can you hear me? Sobia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Didn't UK just pass a law that in job interviews you can no longer ask if you're married, if you have children, if you're planning a family, you can no longer ask those questions, right?
No, they can't. They can't ask you your age. There's no age discrimination or gender discrimination allowed, and no questions in relation to that.
Okay, but why do you think there's a possibility in Pakistan, since you're seeing both cultures closely, do you think it is a possibility in Pakistan? Because you know what, I'll be honest, I'm an employer, and I'm going to say again something unpopular and a bit risky, but women take advantage in a workplace and they are very fickle with their work responsibility. No offense to Samra, I know you don't, barring the ladies in this studio, but women take very unfair and undue advantage. And I have actually hired women, worked with women, trained women who have suddenly gotten married and disappeared. Sobia?
Yes, I'm afraid you're not allowed to say such things here. I can take you to the court for calling us fickle. But look, I think that's a good point. And even in the United Kingdom, in the European market as well, there are not many women on the board. There are only about 5% of the women on the topmost board who actually, it's a very male Anglo male society here as well. And when you say they're very fickle, they get married, okay, I think there's a slight difference here in the United Kingdom. I mean, for couples to be able to maintain their lifestyle, they need both partners to be working.
Right.
So in that sense, even when a lot of the couples do end up having children, you know, the women do go back to work. However, at the same time, it's not that easy for married women to come back to work in the United Kingdom either. And look, it's a choice. It's a choice that women have to make. And I think, you know, you need a bit more honesty from women if they want to continue with their careers after childbirth or not. But that's a choice. Some women...
No, Sobia, my apologies for interrupting. To raise a family, that's a woman's choice. To be a homemaker, that's a choice. To go to work, it's her choice. But when I said fickle, I'm hinting at their non-seriousness. I know Samra is about to just attack this. Chew me out.
No.
A lot of women, with due respect and apology, use education and work as a place to get...
I'm going to agree with you, actually. I'm going to agree with you, yeah.
Today is my lucky day.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with you. I'm sorry. We as women are to be blamed as well. Why? Because we play the woman card. Okay, maybe not the group I'm sitting with here, but yes, there are women who play the women card and who actually ruin it for others who don't. So yeah, they would go into a job, and the reason an employer is asking me that question as if I'm going to get married and leave my job is also because he's probably been burnt like 25 times with 25 different women who he has recruited, they trained, invested in by training and time and everything. And when she was really ready to deliver, she got married. She got married and moved on. When
she was ready to deliver, she delivered.
She delivered, and now she's ready to be a mother, and then she's out of the job.
Which is her right.
Which is her right. But
there has to be a plan.
Yeah, but then there's another side to that coin as well. See, employment situations or employers do not create the most conducive environment for women to work once they've had a child. How many organizations in Pakistan do you know where they will let you work part-time or half days? They wouldn't. Let me remain a resource in the economy. Let me be a contributing member. Why is it that once a woman has had a child, the only option she has to be both a mother and be a working member of the society is be a school freaking teacher?
But Zainab, Urooj, I'm going to take both of these, Zainab. That's not changing. That mindset, you said it's in the mind, I agree. But that mindset will not change. Even as a woman employer, I'm sure you wonder, is she going to stick or is she going to be fickle about it? Hell yeah. Even as a woman employer. It's not a man thing. So there is a level of non-seriousness. And I'm going to come back to Dr. Zaid's original comment that women go to school, they would spend 5 years becoming a doctor, they'll do their house job, and then, I'm done, I'm married, my job's done. So there's this non-seriousness. Do you agree about the non-seriousness?
I'll go back to the previous statement that I made. It's how you shape up a woman at home.
Well, regardless of how you shape. The shape is here today now. Now here today, are we non-serious?
If she has to bear in mind that she has to get married and leave and she can't be career-oriented because she cannot multitask or multi-manage, or she cannot manage her time, it will be horrendous for her and be haywire and everything is going to, lose the path and she'll be at the losing end. That's why women become, they just choose the path which is kind of a walkover. But again, women in this society, I've seen it myself. I meet hundreds and thousands of girls every day. But hundreds of girls, thousands in a week maybe. But the thing is, they are the ones who are putting sedulous efforts, They are on the rocks. They're up the creeks. They're in severe difficulties that they are shipping up.
I agree. Women work very hard.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Even in the poorest of society, they work very hard.
But let me add to that, there's a bit of a problem. The reason why a woman does that also, it's the home front. Like the man she's married, how helpful is he to, like the child's not just the woman's, The running of the house is not just a woman's responsibility.
Wait, doing dishes is your responsibility.
No, hello, not touching the dishes, okay? Deal made before the nikah.
Rough and tumble life. Yeah. That rough and tumble life is okay even with men, but there's a vision. Who have vision and strategy and they go by plan, they are successful and triumphant.
Given that,
one thing, for what they are getting the degree, for example, if you talk about degree, since childhood it is said you have to get married to this guy. Okay, doctor बच्ची होगी तो अच्छा रिश्ता मिलेगा. ऐसा you just feeding all these things in your mind, and then you are saying and eventual basis you just show them one good picture. You are married in a lal joda, and the guy is waiting for you, and now you need to have 2 kids, 1 guy, 1 girl, and that's it.
And if it's boy, you have 5 girls.
You're happy again. So it is the only picture that we are. For example, you're talking about the woman of future.
No, but I agree all of that. But where's the change? Am I going to see a modern?
If there is awareness, there will be change.
I want to make a point here. I do agree with her and her, but these days, as I notice, people are coming from slum areas, low-lying areas, and trying to want their daughters to learn something, to be educated, and to become something.
Very well said.
I see that, and I'm shocked, and I really.
Very good point Samra's made. Yeah. It's actually the people who, unfortunately, on the shorter end of the society, they're working hard. It's the middle class which has the problem.
It's the middle class who's the problem. It's the middle class. It's the top end. Like, mashallah, people like our parents who actually made the effort to educate us and empower us. And then there's the lower end who, by financial dire situation, and
they're struggling.
And now there's
the middle.
The women of those houses are realizing, okay, I need to do something for my daughter so that she's not suffering the wrath I'm suffering. So that is also taken care of. And that woman is also sorted for 10 years. It's the woman that's sitting right in the middle that has issues, and that has not evolved, and you don't see an evolution happening unless and until you go into the financial situation which Sobia was talking about, which is happening in UK, and we're being hit by it in Pakistan as well. But as a couple, you just cannot make ends meet unless both of you are working.
I'm going to come to Sobia and Zarmina. Sobia, I'm going to start with you. Do you see, if you close your eyes, can you project in the year 2020, 7 years from today, will we see modern, not half naked, progressive, not vulgar, women in this country in strong positions, maybe not running large companies or being on maybe, I'm just saying, because you mentioned that in the UK, but strong women, independently thinking women, and will we come to a point where we will stop having these discussions like we're having tonight? Sobia?
Look, I'm just, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Go on.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking over your first point. One, what is the tenure of an employer in one role? I don't know, average 2 years, 3 years, and then one moves on, right?
Right.
Just on your, I think we should always look at solutions. So your point about women being fickle and moving on, married or whatever, look, as long as a woman performs her role, works really well for 2 years or whatever time period you're employing her for, and she moves on, whichever way, it doesn't matter, people change jobs. Maybe mindsets need to change. Number 2, do I see this progressive woman in 7 years' time? Yes, I do. There are lots of really ambitious, smart women in Pakistan. There are lots of conscientious women in Pakistan. It's your bad luck, or you've come across with some women who you've trained and they've moved on. But look, did you get your worth from them whilst they were working for you? As long as they did their job whilst they were with you, I think you have to have a change of mind on both sides.
Okay. So, Zarmina, do you see a projection where, I'm going to make a very rude comment, if you forgive me.
Yeah, sir.
Will I see women like you? And I'm making a very direct comment.
Yeah.
You've got your head covered. You're progressive, you're modern, you're working with Samra, which makes you, God knows what, a banshee or something. But she's a tyrant of a boss, I know her personally. You are everyone's boss. But do I see women like you walking down the street? Okay, I'm going to give you one example. My wife and I were driving out 2 days ago, and we saw 2 smartly dressed women just crossing the road and going somewhere. And I'm like, when will I see the day where young men and women will be walking down the street, coming out of offices, going for the lunch break?
I really want to see that day.
Is that going to come? 2020.
Should I be honest?
The fact that Zarmina is sitting here on this platform today.
Come on, I'm sorry, that is not indicative of the society.
No, but then a lot of people are watching this and they will learn from it, and they would actually use her as a reference point. That if she can do it, so can I.
Reference point to say I can do it. Reference point to tell her parents that, hey, if she can do, I can too.
We are making the barriers in the society.
No, I want that question answered.
No, reference point that I can do it too.
I can do it too, or reference point as an argument with the parents.
No, I can do it too.
Are the parents allowing?
Yeah. They can say that.
The parents
If she's
are
there, my daughter can
allowing,
do it too.
also that it also depends on the individual. I mean, if for example my parents are sort of very conservative, although they are not, I'm just giving an example.
Hypothetically,
You
yeah.
see, like she said, we need to do some awareness sessions where we can actually educate not just the kids, not just the females, not just the children, but also the parents. So that they can have those, they can actually come out from that bubble thinking that Pakistan or Karachi or XYZ city country is not like very safe. It is safe, but it's how you are thinking towards that situation, how you're taking the situation. I know right now our country is not that safe, to be honest. Everyone knows over here. So maybe our parents are very, very, they're very afraid. Yeah, very conscious about it.
Society is not safe for both the genders, male or female, both, first of all. But secondly, women are at more risk is because anybody can come and throw acid on your face. Anybody can come and do whatever they want to do with you. However, I would add just one thing in it. I would just add, like we were talking about women and, parents wanting a son in their home. I'm not my father's biological daughter. He adopted me. He had 2 sons. He adopted me later. And the comment I got from him a week back in a workshop, he said, I could not see my sons doing what you are doing because I'm really proud of you more than I'm on my son. So that was something I could do. On our part, if parents show their trust on us, we should show as well that what we can do. I have seen a lot of examples that parents gave them the chance to go out, do stuff, but they could not deliver. The minute they got the freedom, they were just out of there. So women also have this, part to play.
Absolutely. There's no discussion that the daughters are much better children. God, I don't know. I'm really getting in trouble in these comments, but fine. But I said earlier, women are outperforming, girls are outperforming boys left, right, and center. That is true. But I want you to shed more light on that. That environment, you said, I wish we could see that. Do you see that happening? And that environment because I would like to see that woman. I would like to see a woman who has the right to cover her head and not be judged, or the right not to cover her head and not be judged. I would like to see a woman who is smart, well-spoken, confident, and not constantly mourning and lamenting what miserable life she's having at home. I want all of you to comment on how will we get there.
Okay, maybe into 2020 we can see that sort of environment where, like you said, guys and girls getting down from the office, going for lunch, walking, just see, nothing as such.
I don't want to get beaten up, so I'll make a comment. In very decent situations and environments.
Yeah. Obviously, it makes sense. Yeah, it's obvious.
We don't want to get beaten up.
Yeah, but I can see that sort of situation in 2014, to be honest.
Or 2014 is out of the question.
2015, 2016, and 2017 as well. To be honest, I just came back from Germany a few months back. And this sort of environment I saw over there, it was so different. I mean, I used to wear jeans shirt over there. Honestly, I wore like short shirts, not really short, but like jeans. And no one over there was to look at me and and no one was there to look at me and pass comments or even just turn around and see, "Arey, dekho kaise ja rahi hai." Nothing. As soon as I landed over here, I was wearing long tops, proper jeans, covered head. Men over there were looking like this. I felt so uncomfortable and I was so disappointed. I was like, why?
So the society is not conducive towards women.
No.
But I'll say
and
Germany is too far. Just go to Dubai and you will see the difference. That in Dubai you can just walk around with, you can talk to any Malbari you want to, and you can just talk to him and ask them where to go, what to do, what to eat. You can sit with them and talk, eat. But if over here you sit with your driver, you talk with him, he'll start making ideas for you.
Even if you talk to Dukandar.
Even if you talk to Dukandar with a good smile on your face because you are having a pleasant day, he will start having ideas about you. Dekha kitna free ho rahi mujhse. So this is something which is going on. And as being a trainer, when I go into a workshop, people judge me because a lot of people from every era of life are coming there and they're judging me. Look at the way what clothes she's wearing. Why can't I judge you what you are wearing? I can judge you on that. I don't judge men. Women also judge women. Women don't judge men. women need to learn. It's your choice to cover the head. It's my choice not to cover it, right? You don't have any right to judge me, and I don't have any right to judge you. So to improvise the society, this is also a woman's duty to not to judge women, because she is the one who's educating the kids. If she will judge it, the kids will judge it. So right now we should stop judging people. And it's not Germany, and we don't need to go to London and Germany. We just go to Dubai, and you will see it's also Islamic country, and you can do whatever you want to do. Why this all,
People here are very judgmental. When I started covering my head, initially I used to wear jeans. Even now I do. And then I used to wear half sleeves. People were like, either cover your head or just leave it and wear all these. And I was like, dude, it's not a problem. It's between me and my God. If I want to cover my head and I want to wear my jeans, let me. What's wrong? What's up with you? People here are very judgmental.
Changing, and how? What can we do today? 5 of you, very, very. I'm not going to label you in any way, but women who are probably ready for tomorrow. How do you think the seeds are being sown for a better perspective for Pakistan's women in the next decade?
Well, look, I think all the women that you have here today, all of these, when we bring up our children, they will be more empowered. When the parents, when the mother is empowered, when she has had opportunity, she'll be able to instill that in her daughter and her son. Number one. Number two, I think we need more representation on the political side. We need more women councillors, more women in powerful positions at a local level to a higher level, so that other women are also influenced and they feel that they have the power to go out there and work. And so there are policies which are conducive to women. When you have more women out there in every field, you will have more policies conducive of women.
So I'm short of time. I want to ask you a quick question. Do you really think policy is going to change mindset?
Yeah, number 3, mindset is a tough question. Look, mindset, I just think it's, deprivation. There's such a segregation of women and men in Pakistan that is when, these men just stare at you in this bizarre fashion and clothing, and just such weird, pointless things have become issues for women, and we have no time for these issues. There are better things to do, like education, helping other people in a worse position.
All right.
What's the difference?
Okay, so I'm short of time, so I'm going to cut you short. My apologies. Samra, your closing comments.
I just think we need more real women out there just representing us as a group and just proving the point where the society's mindset basically creating the blockade. So where parents are hesitant of letting their daughters go and be themselves, that's where people like Zarmina or myself or anyone on this platform is basically representing us and saying, listen, we're out here, we're doing these things, we are safe. Let your daughter take that risk as well, because have faith on your upbringing.
And create an environment for her.
And create an environment for her. Give her the opportunities to be herself and see what she can be. Be proud of her as you would be of your son. Like my father brought me up exactly like he brought up my brother. There were no differences, and to this day there's none. And that just goes to make me the person I am today. Otherwise, maybe I would not be able to be making rotis at home for my husband.
Your husband? I'm sure he'd be happy with that. Closing comments.
One, I'm very complicit on this show so that we could have share all this. I see the future woman of Pakistan is more resilient, the highbrow of the society, and already giving jitters to men because men are moaning and grumbling constantly and reaching her pinnacles. And
why can't we live in peace and harmony? Why must you get revenge is a bad thing, for God's sake. I want to thank all of you for being here, but I want Samra to help me here for a moment. The young lady who came to my office earlier this afternoon, I invited her on the show and she was hesitant. Samra, we need to encourage people to take these platforms. You said that we have to create that environment. We have to encourage people. If the civil society does not take these seats, I believe nothing's going to change.
Agreed.
And I'm failing, and you're failing.
We're trying.
We're trying.
We're trying.
So please take this opportunity. I've got another couple of minutes for you. We need to encourage people to come out.
Basically, what I'm just gonna say is like, if you have a message, you have a point, or if you have an opinion, honestly speaking, just come out here and say it, because realistically speaking, that's the only chance. And then if you don't want to come on television and say whatever you want to say, just reach out to us. Like, women like us are out there. We're there on our Facebook pages. We're there on our Twitter profiles. We're there out there walking on the street. Just reach out. Like, I've had people interning with me.
But I'm going to add, Samra said if you don't want to come on TV, no, I want to add to that. You have to take this space. I would like you all to understand, it is a great struggle for me as an anchor to be able to wing this. I need your help. If you all don't take the seat, next week I'll be going back to what you say you don't want to watch. Thank you all. Contact us, get in touch with us. Until next time.